As part of Black History Month, we are putting the spotlight this morning on a Brooklyn-based not-for-profit dedicated to the mental, emotional, and social well-being of young men of color. Educator and youth advocate Barry Cooper founded the foundation in 2020. This is the B.R.O Experience Foundation. It really focuses on building character and leadership through emotional intelligence and cognitive behavioral tools. The idea here is that young men and men of color often lack safe spaces to express their feelings and cultivate character. The B.R.O Experience Foundation helps to empower young men to become impactful leaders. And Barry Cooper joins us now. Again, the founder, also the executive director of this great organization. Great to have you with us.
Thank you, Rocco. Thank you for having me.
Again, you started this in 2020. And you really developed this based on your own personal experiences as a man of color in Brooklyn. Based on that experience and what you saw in the community. So tell me a little bit more why you felt it was important to create something like this.
Yeah, I think at the time as a young man, living in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, often wondering where the spaces were for me, not really seeing it, and navigating the streets of an urban community. I often found myself getting in trouble a lot because it was either the park or running around the neighborhood. And, you know, I always wondered why we didn't have spaces or thinking about how to build clubhouses, and I think it manifested through my work.
Yeah, so you really work to regulate the emotions of young men of color to make positive decisions. And a lot of times it's those emotions that really impact some bad decisions. So talk to me a little about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we use cognitive behavior therapy as a tool. One of the tools that we do with young men. And what we find is that oftentimes people want young men and young men of color to just do well. And that just doesn't happen, right? Because you're adolescent and you don't know what you don't know. So in our work, we give them the tools to understand what their emotions are actually saying to them. So that way, when they are feeling angry or frustrated, they can articulate them in a way that doesn't allow them to, now what they say, crash out or create decisions that go against their best interests.
Preventing them from turning to crime
or
violence or other things. Mental health is a big part of this, and there's been such a stigma when it comes to talking about it, a reluctance to addressing it. Tell me about that aspect, especially within the Black community.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, and it is unfortunate because it doesn't have to do with like young men or Black people. It's just the idea of a lot of institutions that have been created are never really built for us, for people of color. So we don't trust. When there's a lack of trust, there's a higher rate of disconnection. So in our work, what we try to do is we just normalize that getting support for your emotions is the way that life should be. Everybody, no matter what race you are, should operate through a space where you want to get that level of support. So that way, when you are feeling what you're feeling, you do not resort to anger to actually manifest the world that you want, because anger is just a source of protection of self. And with our young men and the work that we do, and what we try to get people to understand is that mental health support is the way that life should be. Not after you have a crisis. You should just be able to, embody what it means to understand what you're going through.
There are various programs within your foundation, your not-for-profit, including job training, summer programs for young fathers. So a little bit of everything. Describe sort of in a nutshell what you see day in and day out among the young people, the young men who need all these services, need some help.
Yeah, when we first meet a young man, no matter if they in our third grade and our little B.R.O experience where we work with third graders, well, from third to eighth grade young men, or they're going to some of our more adult programs, they always come in very raw, very inquisitive and optimistic as well, but they just have like this sense of apathy and closeness about self. They have unresolved frustration when they come in. Many of them are growing up in communities where they have to be aggressive, so they're very protective. And over time, and you will see them evolving and feeling more comfortable and talking more and communicating more. It is a beautiful thing to see, honestly, that statistics can't really write.
That's the impact you're having. So you helped over 200 young men last year. I imagine more to come. Tell me in our final moments here what the future looks like here for your program.
Yeah, so what I want people to understand is that we're not going anywhere. We are going to continue to grow and build a space for young men. And then what I really honestly see Rocco as a world where the B.R.O experience is in the middle of North Dakota, because poverty runs no barrier of race, and there's a lot of young white men out in the communities that need support. So I want the organization to become a wellness center for men to feel seen, heard, and protected.
Well said, well done. Barry, it is a pleasure to talk to you this morning. Thank you so much for your time. Best of luck with your organization. We'll put up the website there if anybody's interested in the B.R.O Experience Foundation, the BROExperience.org. Barry, thanks again.
Thank you.